Oh,
the
there
HUD.
we go. Okay, I think we're better now.
Hey,
Oh, there you go.
hey, Diesel Dog, make sure your mic and everything is on. He's having a hard time.
I was sending my output to the wrong speaker setup.
Ah, I see. Hey, I appreciate you helping out. Thank you a lot. Appreciate it.
You want some custom instruction while I'm here, Red Shadow?
He always needs it.
Sure. Do you mind if we stream it?
Because I stream too, and I stream about DU all the time. So.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I will talk you through this. So let's get you the latest version first.
Okay.
So can I post a link in your stream?
Yeah. Let me make sure I have it set up so that you can do that. Give me 1 second. Let me see.
It didn't time me out.
Let's see. The chat settings. It's going to be.
It didn't time me out. It let me.
On my side of thing, it only gave me the 3 stars.
Oh, well, in your chat, it actually shows up and it didn't time me out. Are you looking at chat in Twitch, or are you looking at chat in OBS or something?
I'm looking at chat and Twitch.
Here, I'll paste it here too in your general channel.
Okay.
Okay, so you see that?
See, I got 5.4. Oh, this is 5.4
has a
too.
little issue that it tends to unload itself.
Oh, that would be probably why.
We're bouncing against the top of the script limit right now, so we're trying to fine-tune things and make it better. But this adds a lot of new features. So go to that link.
Okay.
And at that link, I don't know if you want to pull it up and I can talk you through it, or I'll just talk you through it, assuming you're looking at what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm actually looking. Do you want? I'll go ahead and bring it over onto the screen. So, well, first, let's go ahead and introduce who you are. That way, everybody knows.
I'm Arcadio, and myself and Dimensia code the D orbital HUD, which we give away for free.
There we go.
If you see there 5.4.2, so the thing you always want to do first is always read the latest changes. You should read the full change log because it could have more stuff, but the latest changes will at least tell you what this release is doing. So just scroll down a little bit there.
Okay.
And so in this change, we added our 3rd version of vertical takeoff support. So if you have vertically facing engines, they will now either take you up to AGG height or out to orbit. We changed auto takeoff now, so that auto takeoff will take you either up to the normal altitude hold, 11% altitude, orbit, or to AGG height if you turn on AGG before engaging auto takeoff. And we made some autopilot changes so that you can orbit the planet that you're around. And also now it does orbit hops. So if you're going to a save point that's a long way away on the same planet, you can take your orbit height into space, and it will go up, orbit, and then come back down.
Well, I like that. Did you guys ever fix the? I don't even know if you guys actually got it to work, but was the old one autopilot, not from planet to planet autopilot, but from, say, select a market.
Yeah.
And it would autopilot you from, say, where you're at to the market without crashing.
Yes. Unless there is something in the way. We have no way of determining if you're flying into the side of a mountain, a planet, or one of those damn space towers that I swear to God I will blow up if they ever turn on TV.
I love them towers.
I saw one at 35,000 meters today. What the hell?
Wow.
Anyway, so you see the buttonhood.conf link down there. That's the one you can click on, and you don't have to worry about the whole raw or, cut and paste the right way or anything else. Just click on that.
Okay.
And then you can either right click and save as, or you can just click on it like you just did, and it's now in your download folder, and then you'll just move it.
Okay. So you're saying that I need to just go ahead and right click on that and save link as?
Yeah, you can do that too.
Okay. And then I'll basically just save it in my downloads folder wherever I need to, correct?
You put it into your custom folder for the HUD. Have you not gone there before?
I probably have. But being that a lot of people probably have not done this before, let's go ahead and go through it step by step if you don't mind.
Sure. So go to Program Data.
Program Data. Okay.
It may be hidden for you, but it should be on your the drive that you have installed. So the C drive.
Okay, program data is right here. Okay.
And you see dual universe?
Let's see. I see. Okay, so in program data.
Yep. Click program data.
Okay.
Dual universe.
Dual universe. Okay.
Game.
Okay.
Data.
Okay.
Lua.
Okay.
AutoConf.
All right.
And that's where you want to paste it.
That might be where my problem is here. Mine goes right to custom.
Yeah, you put it in custom.
So
then I have it right then. Okay.
Okay, so I need to go into custom then.
Yep, I'm sorry about that. Put it in custom.
Okay, all right. Okay, and then I just basically save it right here, correct?
Yep, and you'll overwrite the current one, or you could give it a different name, and you can have two versions in case the new version makes your ship act wonky for some reason.
Well, let's just go ahead and I'm just going to overwrite it, and we're just going to call it good. So we're going to hit yes on that one.
Yep. Now go back into the game. You don't
Okay.
have to exit the game or anything.
Go back into the game, okay?
Look at your chair.
All right, let me...
Exit the seat. And you would also put this on a remote if you have it on the ship, but that's up to you.
Okay. I'm
So
looking.
right-click the chair, advanced, update custom AutoConf list.
Update, let me see here.
Nope, down.
Oh, I'm
Update
sorry. There it is.
Custom AutoConf list.
Okay. I'm going to click on that.
Yep, and it will not tell you anything. It just works.
Okay.
Now,
See, now that's where I'm lost at. It used to give you another
it
pop.
never has. It's
Right.
never said it did anything. Well, yeah, you're right. Once upon a time, well, the overwriting it did. Anyway, right-click your chair again now
Okay.
and go to advanced.
Go back down to advanced. Okay.
And I'm waiting for you to get there. Run custom auto configure,
Okay.
and then 5.4.2.
See, I don't get that.
5.4.2. Click that.
Somewhere I'm missing something.
Okay. Then
Yes.
hit yes.
You're going to
Okay.
overwrite your current custom. It's a reversible. Dun, dun, dun. So now you've got the latest version there. So the thing to look at, here's some little tips and tricks for you. So hit Control L while looking at your seat.
Control L. Okay.
And if you look on the left here, you can see everything that's slotted to your seat.
Okay.
The thing that you want to make sure is slotted is DBHud_1. That means that's your data bank.
That's right here, right
Yep.
there, correct? Okay.
We made it so you only have to slot it one time manually and then it remembers. But if you've never hooked one up, if you're putting this script on a new ship, you would have to manually slot the data bank to your seat first and then rerun the AutoConf.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't do that no more. Apparently, when they changed up the blueprints, I'm getting a message saying I'm not the original creator of this.
DRM really bites you in the butt if you can't go to somebody. The thing you can do is you can
Well,
go
my
into
problem
build
is the
mode.
guy that built my ship no longer really plays, I don't think.
Right. Well, go into build mode and pick the seat up and put the seat back down, and that strips DRM off of it.
I've done that a couple. I've rebuilt a ship since they've done that.
Yeah, and you can do the same thing with databank. So anyway, you see that you have the DB HUD. You can see there that you have the fuel tanks linked to your seat, your space fuel tanks. If you didn't, it would calculate the values. If you do, it tells you the values in the tank directly.
Okay.
So we did that because people were running out of slots on their seat. You get 10 slots on a seat,
Correct.
and they were
Okay.
all being taken up by fuel tanks.
Okay.
Talking about lifting up seats, can you do that while you're sitting in the air?
No. I
Even
mean,
with
as soon as
the
you
easy
stand up-
seat?
As soon as you stand up out of the seat, the script stops running. Now, if you have a remote nearby, you can stand up out of the seat, activate the remote, and keep flying.
Okay, so I have to land.
Okay, so you're good. So hit cancel on this.
Okay. Cancel on this. All right.
Okay, so now we're going to teach you two other things. The first time you install the script, hit right-click on the seat,
Right.
advanced,
Okay. Advanced.
edit Lua parameters.
Okay. Yep.
These are all of our user variables. If you mouse over a variable, it tells you what it is and what the default is and what the range could be.
Okay.
That one right there is a special one. the one that says use these settings. If you have a data bank on your ship, the way our save system works, and it's because of how DU coded it, or NQ coded it. If you sit down in the seat, it overwrites all of these that you see in front of you right now with what's on the data bank. That's how you can keep settings from update to update of the HUD. Because
Okay.
when you sit in the seat, it pulls the data from the seat. When you stand up, it saves everything to the data bank.
See, mine should still be doing that then, because I've had data bank on this since it was built.
Yeah, but if you don't see your data bank connected anymore, we changed it about probably 10 versions back, where you have to manually connect your data bank one time now, because people were using data banks for other things, and we didn't want it to randomly overwrite somebody else's data bank.
Oh, you got
Anyway.
the expert with the scripting now, huh? That's neat.
Oh wow.
So
Okay, so
right
I'm getting
here where it says use these settings, if you ever want to update the settings using this list here, you have to click use these settings if you already have a data bank on the ship, and you do.
Okay, so I need to make sure I have this. Okay.
Now the problem is this is never updated with what's on the data bank. We can't make it do that.
Okay.
So these are all the default things that are in the script until you update it one time. But then when you load a new version of the script, all of these get reset to default, but your data bank does not.
Okay. Now, when you mean updating, that means basically when you add a new, basically when you update the like if you guys change your script.
You just did.
Okay.
You just grabbed 5.42. So let's say 5.44 came out, and you grabbed it and you put it in that directory, and you did the load autocomp thing that we just did. That would change all of these values you're about to set back to default.
Okay. All right.
But
one more question
when
for
you
you.
sit down in your seat, it will load your old values. So you don't have to come in here and update these every time you update the script.
Okay.
So when I go to pick up my seat up, it gives me a really large warning.
Yeah, it says you're about to lose DR. You're about to remove everything on it and strip the DRM protection off of it.
Well, it says more than that. It says the element of the DRM protected and contains sensitive information retrieving it will be reset to its standard element and erase its content. This is not reversible, though.
Correct.
So that means I have to keep my blueprint on me, right?
No, it's just resetting the seat. The script that's on the seat.
They really ought to.
And the way you're going to put the seat back down is you're just going to hit backspace.
I didn't even give me that option. It just
You
kinda picked
pick it
up
up
on
with
myself.
Alt and the 1 key, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but I picked it up automatically and put it in my bag. But I just put it back down.
And to put it back down, but the way you want to put it back down normally is just to hit backspace,
Oh yeah.
because that puts things back right where they were. Okay,
Okay.
so these settings
Now I
here,
got
you can
everything
mouse
back.
over to see what they are. The ones that I recommend you change, and you can go through these because we've set them up for people who want different performance. Like some people don't like you've got brake toggle default on. Do you like that?
I love that because I can just coast right down from wherever I'm at to home market.
No. Mouse over brake toggle default for me, Red.
Okay.
So brake toggle default there, if you read it, normally this is, oh yeah, you want this on normally. I'm sorry. If people turn this off, you get vanilla brakes where you have to hold down control to brake.
Okay.
I love
Okay, now I got the new stuff.
So leave that on. I normally turn on bright HUD. That makes it so that if you go in camera mode, the HUD doesn't disappear. It stays lit.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do what you are suggesting because.
In user control scheme.
Okay, right here.
Mouse over it, and you'll see the allowable variables to put in there. So put in keyboard.
Okay, so right here, and you have to keep the quotation marks, I believe, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a silly thing. Otherwise, it tries to assign it to a variable named keyboard.
Okay.
Lowercase. I think
oh,
that may be why you were messing up. I thought we had that fixed, but we may not. So just if you mouse over it, it shows you the exact formatting.
So it has to be okay. So this is something you guys need to pay attention when you change this. It has to be exactly what it shows on the screen. If it's a capital letter, it needs to be exactly how it's shown.
Fix that, but oh well.
Okay.
I got two more questions for you, then I'm good on this. What's the new external AGG and the use sat nav for?
Sat nav is an external mod that people use to track a bunch of saved locations. External AGG is if you use an external script to control your AGG.
Okay, neither one of them I need then.
Yep. Okay, so here,
more remote.
resolution X, resolution Y. I play at 2560 by 1440, but I leave those at 1920 by 1080, and it makes the text bigger, so I like that. Safe RGB are the colors. We added this feature about 2 changes back. You'll notice there's safe RGB and there's PVP RGB. When you cross the PVP boundary, your HUD color will change to the PVP values now, which is basically red.
Okay. All right. That is very helpful. Okay.
Yeah, but you can change these to whatever you want. Like your default, I normally change blue to 0 because I like bright green. The default pale blue that we use, we really should change it, but it's been that way forever, so we just don't. But it can be hard to see against the sky sometimes.
Okay. And which one is that again?
Safe B.
You said safe B.
Yeah, I normally change safe B to 0. That's just me.
Okay.
I like the bright green HUD. So that sets your blue value all the way down to 0.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And you can go onto any, web page that tells you, here's the RGB values you need for the color that you just picked.
So basically these color numbers that are on the safe R, the safe G, the safe B, and the PVPR, all of those color values you can actually get off the RGB, basically color lists, and that's what it will change it to, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's cool.
And so if you look at the PVP, it's 25500, so only red is on.
I see. Okay.
Center X and center Y are where your HUD is centered. We'll go over these a little bit more later, but the things that say X and Y are how you can move things around, and you can do it while sitting down now, and I'll show you that in a little bit.
Okay.
So let's scroll on down. Keep going. Circle rad is an important one. Circle rad, there's 2 different types of what some people call the KSP ball, the nav ball. The big one is the 400. That's probably what you're used to seeing. But if you see there, it says looks different if you're less than 200. I normally fly with mine at 100. If you're in a big ship, you may want 400. If you're in a small ship, you may want 100.
Okay. You're talking.
We'll change that in the seat in a second, and I'll show you the difference.
Okay.
So going down, let's see, we'll skip all this for now, keep going. And you can come in and mouse over these anytime to see what they are. Stall angles are important, but that's something you have to figure out for each ship. Stuff right there, you see yaw stall angle and pitch stall angle at the top there.
Right here?
Yeah, those are safe values right there. But if you make your ship pitch and it doesn't stall out, you can turn those up. We just put them at a safe value that is going to prevent most ships from stalling when the autopilot makes them bank.
Okay.
Now you go.
Hold on, I got to close my door.
Okay. Again, if you guys are just joining the show, we are live with the creator of the Dimensia script. A lot of you guys are running this, and he's helping us out. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Pull this one up.
Fast it changes speed when you mouse wheel up and down. Just leave those at default unless you want to play around with them.
Okay.
Brake landing rate is how fast it comes down if it does not know the height of where you're landing.
If it does not know the height of where you're landing. So give us an example where it would not know the height.
We'll show you how to save a location in a moment.
Okay.
And if you're autopiloting to a saved location, it's going to come down as fast as it thinks your hovers and brakes can handle.
Okay.
So we call it extreme brake landing, and we recommend a new pair of brown pants. If
Nice.
but if you just hit brake landing, which is the G key, while you're just flying around, it's going to come down at this speed right here.
Okay.
30 is a safe speed for almost every ship. I bump mine up to around 45 for my small ships, maybe 40 for medium ships. It's meters per second that you're comfortable landing where you don't take damage.
Okay.
So that's up to you. 30 is super safe, but it makes you come down slow.
Okay.
Max
I will say one thing though, your throttle is very jumpy in this. It doesn't go up by 10s; it goes up by 15s, 5s at times. Like I can't turn the throttle on.
We're fine tuning that now. It's part of the new cruise control system we wrote because we hate the vanilla cruise control system. And I agree with you. There's a problem it has right now where sometimes when you're trying to make it go to 0, it doesn't. Just hit middle mouse button if that happens. That cuts your engines to 0.
Oh, okay, great, cool, thank you.
Brake landing rate, you can bump up if you want. I generally do. 30 is a very safe rate. And you set these by ship. The other nice thing you can do is you can copy data banks once you've got it set up to transfer to a new ship, and then just modify the couple of things you need to modify for that new ship instead of going through this whole list again.
Oh wow, that's really handy. So I can copy basically if one of my corp mates or somebody likes how my ship is set up, I can
and
literally
it also copies saved locations as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so brake landing, that's up to you. Max pitch is how much pitch you think your ship can handle. I generally bump that up to around 40 to 45, but I've got very good ailerons and wings on my ship. So
I do like that.
30 is again a super safe value. All these are safe values that should work for most ships if they're, okay flyers with a new pilot.
Okay.
Reentry speed and Atmos speed limit. These are the important ones. Reentry speed, not so much anymore. But Atmos speed limit is a really important one. So Atmos speed limit is what you want to set as the top speed your ship can go before it starts to burn.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Is generally safe, but if you have a very small front cross section, like one of my ships, I can set to 1750 and it won't burn in atmosphere because it's got a very, very small front cross section. But this is going to be the speed limit you set here. Our throttle is going to kick in and not let you exceed it normally. There's ways you can do it, but it's going to prevent you from accidentally burning yourself up.
Okay.
Have that set for and coming into a
on
planet.
on the previous setting that I did already have on here. I love that feature about this script. It would not let you go any faster than whatever the speed whatever your ship was rated for.
Sitting in the seat if you want. But it's a really nice feature now because it's part of our new cruise control system. So let's say your engines can hit that speed, the 1050. When you hit 1050, now the engines will automatically throttle back to whatever they need to maintain that speed at the height you're at.
Yeah.
So when you're, that's the little red arrow you see on the throttle now.
Okay. Yeah, that is very, very helpful. I cannot. It's awesome.
Yep. Space speed limit is for when you are not flying autopilot. This is if you're out in space and you want to turn off your engines once you hit a certain speed in case you fall asleep at the keyboard or have to get up and walk away. So 30,000 is not a limit, right? Because 30,000 is the top speed in the game.
Correct.
29.99 is light speed in this game.
I need to ask a question when I can. Are you going to be able to do this script anytime soon with mouse control versus the other thing? Because I cannot fly. I can't fly with that other control that you have to have the script right now. I can't do it.
Use mouse control with this script. All you got to do is put the mouse.
Yeah, so basically in order to do that, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's right here.
It's that top thing, user control screen. You set that to mouse. You set the ship to keyboard. You set that to mouse. And I fly mouse every day. That's my preferred flying mode.
Oh, I can't do mouse. I can't stand mouse. I like having my keyboards.
Yeah.
I like to look around me when I'm crashing.
Yeah, I'm awkward. I'm like Rambo. I fly with the mouse.
That's why we
I like,
support all
I
that.
like to look around and see what I'm crashing into first.
Entry altitude, I recommend bumping that up to probably 3,000 because of all the damn towers these days. 2,500 was our old value. Reentry is much safer now.
I like about 4.
I'm thinking 4,500 just to be safe.
I like 55 myself because that puts you right around orbit for your space engine, but in space.
Earning.
Excuse me.
Auto takeoff altitude, how high you want to. If you hit Alt 6, which is our auto takeoff hotkey, or you use the button, that's how high above ground level you want it to level off at.
Okay.
So I do 1250 normally, 1,000 is generally safe. It's whatever's comfortable for you. The nice thing you can do now is if you double tap Alt 6 within 1.5 seconds, so you go Alt 6, Alt 6, it will take you up to 11% atmosphere now.
11% atmosphere. Okay, so that'll take you almost, yeah, all right.
Where your space engine kicks in, but it's also minimal atmo engines needed to maintain speed. So you can fly, it's where you get your fly forever speed with minimal fuel.
Okay.
Target hover height is how high it jumps off the ground when you hit G to take off. If you just hit G,
Okay.
that's above most people's hover height. Landing gear ground height, you set that if you have landing gears. When you're on the ground and sitting in the seat, you'll see an AGL value above ground level. So you want to set that to AGL -1.
AGL -1 is where I need to have this at.
So if you're on the ground and it says AGL is 4, you would set it to 3. And that makes sure that all your landing gears touch down when you land in a flat area, so that you're not sitting there hovering thinking you're on the ground. Or if you leave it at 0 and you have landing gears, you get that thing where the landing gears look like they go into the ground and then pop back up.
I see. So, okay, so for example, on this one, like up here, I know you can barely see it, but it says the ground level is 161 meters.
Or above sea level.
Okay, that's above sea level.
Yeah, so what you want to do is go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and click on OK. We'll come back to this in 1 second to finish this up.
Okay, hit OK.
And click OK. Sit in your seat real quick. And then to the left, under atmosphere, you see AGL.
Yeah, 4.6.
You have landing gears on this thing, right?
That is correct, yes.
Landing gears are holding you above the platform 4.6 meters. So exit your seat, go back into Edit Lua parameters, and set that value to 3.6.
I do like that speed thing. That you have
I don't
on
know.
here.
The vertical speed meter is not part of the default.
3.6, okay.
Okay, max game velocity. Some people have an issue when they're doing autopilot from planet to planet, slow boating, that the engines don't shut off at 29,999. A lot of people set that number to 8323. 8333.055 is in meters per second, is the same thing as 30,000 kilometers per hour. So technically your engine should shut off. But
Okay.
Sure they do, so that you're not just burning fuel trying to get that last, tenth of a kilometer per hour. Set that to like 8323 or 8328 or something like that.
Okay, I'll just go 2.3.
Target orbit radius. This is when you autopilot to another planet. The script will put you in orbit around that planet if you don't have a set landing point on the planet. This is how tight it will put you into orbit above atmosphere. So it takes where it knows the atmosphere ends, adds a fudge factor to that, and this determines how much fudge factor. I drop it to 1.25, but that's because I trust the script and have a pretty maneuverable ship. So leave it at 1.4 per now. 1.4 will make it orbit you 50,000 meters above Alioth.
Okay.
Where if above Sanctuary, where if you drop it to 1.25, it would make you orbit at, or no, above Alioth. If you drop it to 1.25, it would be like 27.8 or 37.8 kilometers above the planet.
Okay.
So that's something you can do if you want to orbit at a tighter orbit. Autopilot interplanetary throttle is if you don't want it to use full throttle to try to get up to speed. Warm up is how long it takes your space engines to warm up. That is the slowest value right there. If you mouse over it, it gives you values for other engines, or you can just look at the engine's info panel and it will tell you what its warm up speed is. That's just the values for basic space engines.
Okay.
Mouse sensitivity you can ignore unless you're flying virtual joystick. If you mouse over them, it tells you that. Auto roll preference. Do you
Love
want
it.
the ship, when you let go of Q or E, if you're flying keyboard, to roll back to 0?
I do want that to do that. So this is what this is?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And then the thing you see below there, auto roll factor, is how aggressively it fights you to go back to 0.
Okay.
So some people think 2 is too aggressive. And so you can lower that value if you're trying to bankroll and it keeps fighting you too much. Then you can lower that value down to like 1 or 1.2 or 0.8, whatever is comfortable for you.
Okay.
I leave it at 2, but that's totally up to you. So
Well,
at 1, it's gonna roll back to 0, but it's going to be much slower.
Well, I now that I know that, if I need to adjust it here in a little bit, then I can come back and just change it up to a 2 or whatnot. But yeah, okay.
I like where it's at 'cause it feels like a fighter pilot.
Yeah. Roll speed factor is how fast it rolls. Just leave that at 1.5. Play around with it on your own time. Keep going down. Turn assist is a vanilla thing. You can ignore those. Trajectory alignment strength, ignore that. These are the values you can come back once you've got comfortable with the script and you want to fine tune for the ship that this is mounted on.
Okay.
We don't care about any of these others right now. Okay, fuel tank handling and container optimization and fuel tank optimization. These are the skill levels of the people who put the fuel tanks on the ship.
Okay.
So there's 3 different skills. There's fuel tank handling for Atmos, space, and rocket. So there's 5 skills total. Fuel tank handling for Atmos, space, and rocket, container optimization, and fuel tank optimization.
Okay.
You don't have to set these if your tanks are slotted to the chair.
So you mean if the tanks are slotted to the chair, that means that they actually are linked to the chair, correct?
Like when you hit Control L, you saw all of your space tanks.
Correct.
You didn't see any of your Atmo tanks.
Correct.
So it's going to calculate the Atmo values, but for it to calculate it accurately, it has to know the fuel tank handling Atmo skill, the container optimization skill, and the fuel tank optimization skill of the person who put the tanks on the ship.
Okay.
If you don't know those, you ask the designer. If they're not around to ask, you start playing with values till it matches what you know is in the tank.
Okay.
I'll tank up to 100% if I don't know the values, and then I start playing with those. Lots of people raise the handling skills because they're pretty cheap to raise. Container optimization and fuel tank optimization are much more expensive. Those are high term skills, long-term skills.
Okay.
Right. The extra longitude, latitude, and lateral tags, ignore those. Those are there for people who want only certain engines to fire. So if you had some vertical engines mounted and some other ones that you didn't want to fire all the time, you could turn the tag on. It's for people who use external scripts. They ask for it to be put in there. Just ignore them. External AGG is if you use an external AGG controller script. Use SatNav as if you use the SatNav script, which is an external script that some people use.
Hey, I got one more question for you since you're talking about AGG.
I got a lot of questions.
I created all this stuff. I give you credit.
Okay. Well, one step at a time, guys. Let's go through this.
So AP tick rate and HUD tick rate are if you get bad frame rates, but generally you don't have to adjust those anymore. AP tick rate is how often the autopilot features tick. That's 60 times a second right there is that value. You just divide 1 by 60. HUD tick rate updates less often. That's how often it does the drawing of the overlay on the screen. The big place you'll see frame rate drops these days is if you have more than 350 elements on a ship. They're supposed to be optimizing that, NQ is. There's nothing we can do about it. If you get up to 400 plus elements on a ship, you 100% see a frame rate drop. Should check damage. You can turn that. We have a what's called a poor man's damage report that shows up down bottom if your ship has any damage. You can leave that on and it runs through all your elements once a second or once every 2 seconds. If you're using the damage report script, which is an external thing, you can turn that off. Or if you've got like 400 elements on your ship, you can turn that off and see if you get any frames back. Calculate brake landing speed, mouse over that. If you notice now, it is, yeah, there you go, so that it pops up the tooltip.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I'm over it and it's not popping it up.
Interesting. That one is if you want it to calculate the brake speed or not, leave it at its default for now.
Okay.
Auto roll threshold, ignore Atmos speed assist. You can ignore that. I think that one may be going away. Force alignment, ignore. See, this allows you to auto roll threshold. Remember how you turn on auto roll and it's going to fight you? If you set it to like 5, then it's going to let you go 5 degrees without trying to go back to 0. Force alignment. Some people liked it when you were in altitude hold, if it also forced you to point in the direction of your vector. That's off now by default. I recommend leaving it that way unless your ship flies funny. Then you can turn it on and it will make your ship always point towards the vector that it is flying while you're in altitude hold. And then vertical takeoff engines. This is the new stuff we just added down bottom. Ignore minimum roll velocity. That's the same thing as auto roll. Vertical takeoff engine. If your ship is designed for VTOL, you'll want to turn this on.
Okay.
VTOL meaning that you have enough downward facing engines to lift your ship up by holding spacebar.
Now, okay, so this would also mean for your vertical boosters, correct? No. Okay.
Take that off, just have vertical boosters.
Okay, yeah, all I have is vertical boosters on mine right here.
This is for people who mount atmospheric thrust engines facing down in order to get to AGG height.
I see. Okay.
And then vertical takeoff mode is either orbit or AGG. That's how far you want the vertical engines to push you if you're using that mode. So click OK.
Okay.
And then sit in your seat. And when you sit in your seat, it's going to tell you using user settings. See, updated user preference used will be saved when you exit seat.
Okay.
Top, use these settings to use saved values. So now stand up.
So I just exit out of the seat. Okay.
And then go back to edit lure parameters. And turn off that first check block. Use these settings.
Okay. And then scroll all the way down and save, correct?
Correct. And now it's going to use the values on your data bank. So now you never need to go into this again unless you need to change a whole bunch of settings. Because I'm going to show you a way you can change single ones. So now sit back down in your seat.
Okay.
Hit enter and click on the Lua tab.
Enter and click on the Lua tab. Okay.
And now type /help.
/ or reverse /? Like that?
Yep. Nope, that's reverse /.
That was a wrong slash. Okay.
Tomato, tomato.
Okay.
And you'll see these are your keyboard commands you can use.
Tasha, we quit thumping around.
Okay, so these are all of the, these are, okay, so anything that says console, no wait.
Anything right there, these are the dump it did where it loaded all the values. This is so you can scroll up and see what value is saved to your data bank for various things.
I see, okay.
Some of those values are flight values where we've got it programmed so that if you had a, let's say you had a remote control mounted right in front of you and you had the HUD on that remote control, you could stand up out of your chair, activate the remote control, and your ship will keep doing whatever it was just doing.
I see, okay.
But up top, where some of those first values, those are the values that you just set.
Okay.
So the way that you can look at these, you can do, let's show you the difference in the HUD, and this will show you how you can change values while sitting. So type /G,
Okay.
circle rad, small c, big R.
Okay.
Nope, space. There should be a space between those.
Okay.
Between the G and the circle rad. No. Between the G and the circle rad. Circle rad's all one word.
Oh, okay, my mistake. Okay, so like that?
Yep. And now rad, R-A-D, with a capital R. And it won't let you make a mistake. No. Circle rad. The rad, the capital is, the R is capital and circle.
Oh,
rad.
okay. Like,
Now space 100. What happens to your HUD? So see, if this is a smaller version of the HUD, the thing you can do with this is, if you wanted to, you could now move it down and to the left and make it like it's on a flight instrument panel. Here's another thing before. Remember the check damage thing we were talking about?
Yeah.
If you look down, you have one disabled module on this ship right now.
Correct.
Do you have a remote installed on this ship?
I do not.
Can you get one real quick? I'll demonstrate something for you.
I don't think I have. I don't have any remotes around here.
Well, if you get a remote and you put it on the ship and you link the data bank to it as well, you can activate the remote and then hold down the shift key, and there's a button that says show damage arrows, and it will make an arrow flash over damaged components. And when you repair that component, it moves to the next component.
Oh my God, that would be so helpful.
Yep.
Oh my God, that would be so helpful.
If you had a remote.
Oh man. Wow, that would be incredible. You know how many times I've had to tear this ship apart to find a damaged component? Oh my God, that would be so helpful.
Okay, so right now, go ahead and hit escape for now to get out of the chat and back to normal control.
Okay.
There you go. So now you're controlling this ship again, right?
Correct.
Is this a place you frequently land, right at this spot?
Yes.
Okay, so hold down shift.
Okay.
Oh, let go of shift.
Okay.
Hit alt. And then hold down shift. See that black dot that appeared in the middle?
Yes.
That means you're in button mode, or actually in normal control mode. When that black dot is not there, you're in camera control mode.
Okay.
Okay, see save position in the upper right there? Mouse over that and let go.
Okay, I'm
So
trying to find save position. I'm looking at enable altered.
It's underneath advanced controls unit right now. Yeah, it's to the right of engage autopilot none.
I see
Upper
it.
right.
Okay, here's this one. Okay.
Upper right.
Okay, so the reason why, okay, so I just click it?
And then let go. This is how you click things with these buttons, because it's not on a screen, you can't click it. So you just save that as Symeon 0. Now hit Alt 1 or Alt 2. Alt 1 scrolls forward alphabetically, Alt 2 scrolls backward alphabetically, until you see Symeon 0 down in the lower right. It's just alphabetical. Now, Symeon 0 is a hard name to understand, right? you may forget what it is.
Yeah.
So what you do is once you've got it selected in the interplanetary helper, now hit enter again and type /setName and give it whatever name, /setName space, and then whatever name you want. I would recommend like Symeon-home or something, just so that it's still alphabetical with the planet. But you can call it whatever you want.
Okay, and then I just hit enter.
And you'll see it goes away. And now Alt-1 until you see Symeon home. Or Alt-2 to go backwards. It may be faster.
Okay, so I have to get out of the script. Alt-1.
So now you have this set as a save point.
Okay.
So let's demonstrate that to you. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hit, let's see, is anything in front of you? Not really. Go ahead. Do you fly in this or do you fly external view?
A little bit in this and a little bit of an external. What would you prefer?
I'll do external for now, just so you can see better.
Okay.
Okay. Now hit Alt-6.
Alt-6.
Auto takeoff. Throttle up and release your brake at the same time. And just sit back.
That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
Haven't part yet. Hit V to go ahead and turn off your hexes.
Okay.
You can fly with those on if you like, but I find that flying with those on adds a little bit of frame rate drop.
Yeah, it does.
So we're going to bring it up. We're going to let it get to the altitude hold. So now you're in altitude hold mode. Let's say you don't like this height. Hit Alt spacebar. Just tap it a few times and watch what happens to the altitude hold height.
That's sweet. Okay.
Hit Alt C to go back to lower it. And so see, your ship is coming up to that. So let it stabilize. And also notice that once you get to your speed, look at the red arrow.
Yeah, it throttles back basically.
And that's the throttle it's using. That's the engines it's using to maintain this speed at this altitude. So let's go ahead and take it up to 2,000. Raise your altitude hold to 2,000 just as a safe altitude. I forget what the atmo limit is on Symeon, but I don't think it's less than 2,000. And now for the fun part. You see how you have your home selected there?
Yeah.
Alt-4.
You say Alt-4?
Yep.
Oh.
Autopilot? Or auto landing?
Yes.
See, this is all the stuff I was telling Dan I wanted to get into. Oh, that's so dangerous. You should not do that.
Now the bank rate right now is based on that yaw stall angle that was in the variables.
Okay.
So if you think your ship can bank faster without stalling out, you can raise that up and it will bank faster. Don't touch anything as you're coming in.
Yeah, I'm not touching anything. My hands are, guys, my hands are off the keyboard. I am not doing anything. This is all the autopilot.
Get ready to call Duber.
That's just wrong.
Well,
only I call Uber when
I mean, heck, I can't really talk because I need you to do everything you're talking about. I need you to just rebuild my script and show me everything and do it for me because I am too dumb to do it myself.
Our script is publicly available with the entire source.
Yeah, I know. It was on my new ship here on Dank's ship, but I had to get it because we could not get the mouse control to work with the thing. It kept.
Yeah, like I fly mouse every day. That's my preferred flight mode. You just have to set the ship to keyboard and then set the user control scheme to mouse. In fact, when it lands, I'll show you, when you hold down shift, you can change the control scheme with the buttons.
Now, guys, keep in mind, I am not touching anything right now. Absolutely nothing.
Is it landing or flying by itself?
I am not doing anything. It's all doing it on its own. I am not doing absolutely anything.
What was it doing?
Flew back to his home waypoint that he set, and now it's brake landing.
Ah, very nice. Now that would be nice to have set up at the markets, almost.
The markets, they're kind of risky because you never know what's under you, but it will still fly you to the market, and then you can just turn off autopilot once you get there and handle the landing yourself.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of floating down.
It's because your hovers were never actually on the ground. Your landing gear kept them off the ground, so it doesn't know your actual hover strength at that height. Otherwise, it would probably be dropping you at 100 meters per second instead of 30 meters per second. But that was that brake landing thing I showed you.
Right, yeah.
So if, you know, almost every ship could hit the ground at 30 meters per second and take no damage. That's what it's based on, is if you bounced, would you take damage?
He doesn't take any damage when he bounces.
Ha!
I didn't say it.
Now this will adjust for weight and everything inside the containers.
Yep.
Wow, that is slick. I like that a lot.
I mean, it's 22 meters off, but the reason it's 22 meters off is because you're spun around.
Okay.
So your core, I mean, if you change your camera angle so you're looking down at your ship.
Okay.
And so that's a big ship, right?
Correct.
So you're on the waypoint. It's
Okay.
just when you set it, you were facing the other way.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Now, you want to have more fun?
Sure.
Okay. Go back to where you're looking forward.
Looking forward.
This time we're going to take off to 11% atmosphere.
Okay.
So all you're going to do for this is hit Alt-6 2 times. Alt-6.
Excuse me.
And then throttle up and release your brake. And you have to remember, we write this as a kitchen sink and one-size-fits-all script. So that's why all those user variables are there, so people can kind of fine-tune it for their ships. But this right here, it knows the atmosphere level of every planet, and it sets the altitude when you do Alt-6 to 50 meters below where your space engines would kick in.
Ah, okay.
Should end up being 11% atmosphere.
It took me up just a little bit above that.
Oh yeah, it took you up to 5.4. You actually went over. We'll have to look at Symeon to make sure that their values are right.
Is that
So-
something I need to set on my side, or is that something you guys might have?
It's something we'd have to fix. I'm gonna take one of my ships out to Symeon just to make sure.
Okay.
And it could just be that you don't have enough adjusters that you pulled out of that in time. So go ahead and hit Alt-6 to turn off atmosphere hold, because it's trying to force you down right now.
Okay.
But your lift and your space engines are taking over. Go ahead and hold or hit. Let's see, what should we do? Go up into space some, since you're already there. Angle up into space. And let's go ahead and clear. When you see atmosphere go away, we're going to do another fun thing. Oh, people are telling you they can see your Windows bar
My Windows bar.
on your stream.
Yeah, he has it like that.
Yeah, I have it like that.
Okay, so you're about to clear atmosphere.
Okay.
And once you clear atmosphere, now hit Alt to bring up the little black button. Oh, also another thing you see in the upper right now, beneath the map, that's how far you are from the PvP boundary.
Okay.
Hold down Shift and mouse over Engage Orbit.
Engage orbit. Engage orbiting.
Yep.
So I let go of the shift, right?
Yep. And now it's going to put you in a perfect orbit at your target orbit height that you see on your interplanetary helper there for Symeon.
27.40 km.
Yep. It'll be around that. The periapsis and the apiapsis will be around that. See how the orbit's forming up there in the upper left? Now it's adjusting to bring periapsis up. Periapsis is your closest point of approach. Apoapsis, I can never say that word, is your furthest point of approach in an orbit.
Okay. So this is literally going to give me a perfect orbit around this planet then.
Yep. There'll be a little bit of difference, but
That is
it'll be
amazing.
pretty damn close. If you hit X 3 times, you're probably already in a green orbit. There you go. Hit X 3 times.
Yep.
See? Now you're in a perfect orbit.
That is sweet. I like that.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that's a new feature that we just picked up with our new programmer that's helping us, Shadow Mage. He just came on board. He also did some of the VTOL stuff that we have now. So now you're flying around, right? And you're ready to go home. What do you do to go home?
You're going to go to the Alt 1 to choose a destination, correct?
Yep, it's already up. And then Alt 4 engages. Whoop, nope, go back.
Yeah, no, I'm going back to my mistake.
This is how you go to other planets too. It will slow boat you to another planet and park you in orbit when you get there if you don't have a save point on the planet.
Okay, and then you hit Alt 4.
Yep, Alt 4.
Again, guys, I am not touching anything at all.
Now, one nice thing that it'll do now is if you're flying to another planet, to a saved point on that planet, and the save point is on the backside, it will orbit you first before it brings you down into Atmo.
Oh, that is nice. Okay.
This one's going to bring you down into Atmo, and then Atmo fly you the rest of the distance. So it's letting gravity assist your speed until it gets at a distance that it knows it needs to kick back in brakes and limiters. So while you have a reentry speed of 150, it's gonna limit that.
Okay.
And notice your reentry altitude doesn't matter anymore. We got to get rid of that variable. Everything now goes, when they do reentry, it goes down to the 11% Atmo thing. Sometimes that causes issues, but most of the time it's perfect. It just depends on how good the ships are. Oh, and see up top in red, time till you intersect atmosphere. That appears anytime your current vector is going to intersect a planet or an atmosphere of a planet.
I officially hate Marker 6.
You know you can get rid of that advanced controls unit.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Let's see. Hide this panel. Control H. Because I'm sure a lot of people are looking at this and. Hey, I appreciate it, Gaming Gothic. I'm paying attention to what he's telling me. I'm not paying attention to the chat channel. I do apologize, guys, if there's some stuff I'm missing.
Yeah, Gaming rated you with 23 faults.
Oh, look at you. You got rated. Son of a gun. You should be paying attention. I wasn't paying attention either. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I saw that was Gaming that said you can see your Windows bar, and I didn't even see it was Gaming Gothic, or I would have pointed it out to you.
This market is freaking crazy.
You hit your brake by mistake. Oh, I know what you did. Hit Alt 4 again.
Alt 4?
Yep. Brake, whenever you hit your brake, which you did when you hit Control H,
Wow.
brake is kind of our safety feature. If you hit brake, it generally turns off whatever autopilot thing is going on.
I see. Okay, because I hit Control H, it basically broke.
It
Okay.
said, oh yeah, you want to brake. And it's a good safety feature. Just
Yeah.
sometimes you forget that you've done it. So now it knows it's getting close, so it's going to kick back in the cruise limiter to slow you up, to make sure you don't come in too fast.
Huh. I can't use the market. Actions are forbidden.
It's a glitch.
And
Oh,
then
there it is.
it's once it gets within a range of it, it's going to dip down again and put you into atmosphere flight. There goes the dip. Now you're using your Atmo engines again because they're about to kick in. And it's coming down to that 11% flight height. You've got a lot of lift on this ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's messing with it a little bit. That's why you're at 41. No, 418. That's right. 4182. So it's perfect. 11%. Yep. And now it's going to fly you over your waypoint and then brake land.
Man, this is really nice.
So things around the HUD, you've seen the orbit, you've seen your fuel stuff over there on the right. Atmospheric fuel is being calculated. So that's where I was telling you you would need to know the values to get the exact amount. Or you could link one to your seat and use it to judge all the others. The vertical speed meter you see, the throttle and speed you see, the altitude you see, compasses up top, your current heading, what mode you're in. Way up top you see values that are your current mass, your max mass based on the lift the ship has, the max brake force you have, required thrust you have to lift your current mast, max thrust you have, which determines your max mass, and then just for the fun of it, trip timers and total lifetime time in the seat since you installed that.
So, okay, I know we're going through quite a bit here. Does this do anything with automatically warping, or is this only...
They stopped us from auto warping.
Oh,
So brake at the end of a warp. If you warp somewhere, it will brake for you once you get to your target. And then you can, alt forward to wherever you want to go. But they will not let us engage warp anymore because I was using it to allow people to, when their radar saw a target within X kilometers, warp.
I see. Okay. Well, to
off.
be honest with you, that is kind of fair, though.
Not fair, because
yeah.
there's no defensive features right now.
Yeah.
Somebody gets near you, you cannot escape them right now.
Well, true.
There are scripts out there that determine intersect angles and velocities. Especially if you have like someone on board your ship hidden, they pop on, note where you're at, tell a buddy the
Yep.
coordinates.
Yeah, I have heard about that when they I think Marquis Dragon had something like that happen to him.
Apparently in their test server patch that's coming, if they're outside your ship, if they can't get in your ship, then when they log in, their backpack is going to be off, so they immediately get blown off your ship.
Hmm.
But if they're inside your ship, there's still nothing you can do about it besides disassembling your ship and rebuilding it. Yeah, see, you're coming down now faster than the 30 meters per second.
Correct. Yeah.
And then engages the brakes, and it's going to limit you at the 30. If you ever had the ship take off without the brakes so that it knew the hover strength, we've got to work on that, and that's something we'll work on, because the accelerated landing rate is really nice. But if you know your ship can handle 45 meters per second going down, set it to 45.
Okay.
And the other nice thing is you don't have to go back into that edit Lua parameters, turn on the UZ settings thing, and then change them all again. If you've updated recently, you can just use the /G command to change any of those values.
Okay.
Right now, type a /G. It won't break what it's doing.
Okay.
So /G space, no, capital G, I'm sorry.
Oops.
Space safe B, S, capital S, AFE, capital B.
B as in Bob.
Yep. Space 0.
Then go ahead and hit enter. Go ahead and go ahead and hit enter. Okay.
See how your HUD changed to green?
Yes.
Oh, you can change those values on the fly without having to go in and do all that stuff.
Ah, okay.
Does this ship have an AGG?
It does not.
So the reason you're so far off on this return trip is your brakes. You
Okay.
have brakes, but they're not enough to let the ship think it can slow you in time.
Okay.
But like with my small ship, I'm frequently under 10 meters from my or my set point.
Okay. Now, is there an adjustment where I can, increase or decrease it?
No, not right now, because we've been trying to mess around with it to get it better, but since it's a one-size-fits-all, it makes it really difficult. I've
Okay.
got a cheap warp shuttle that my small tester that I use has 29 Gs of brake, and then I've got a cheap warp shuttle that only has 6 Gs of brake, and they're about the same size. The small ship will land within 10 meters. The cheap warp shuttle generally lands about 100 meters off.
Okay. Well, but still, I mean, this is still pretty daggone cool for what it's able to do. I'm not going to knock that at all. I mean, I can deal with this. That is, yeah.
Oh, let's see. In the console commands there's /add location, save name, and then you can post a waypoint, a bookmarked waypoint, or a market waypoint or anything, and it will add it to your saved locations. We do recommend that once you do that, go to that location, hold down Shift, and then hit Update Location in the upper right, and that will use because if you look at the value that's pasted there, frequently the Z value is set as 0 when you grab it. Just as an example, hit close this window and hit M, bring up your map. And then go to either one of your bookmarks there or like one of the marketplace locations, and and choose copy bookmark.
Do a point of interest. Let's just do this one. Okay, and then you want me to do what now?
Right click.
On the...
No. Right click on the marketplace Symeon 3.
Okay.
And then copy coordinates.
Okay.
And then close the map. Then hit enter again to bring back up the Lua console. Do /add location. Space, give it a name, Symeon Market 3 or whatever it was.
Sick.
Did you say 6? 3, I think.
Yep,
it's 3.
it's the one next to us is sick.
I think 3 was what you
I
got.
think, yeah, I would think, I used 3.
All right.
Okay.
And then space, and then hit Control V.
And then I basically just hit enter, correct?
Yep. Now select that on the helper with Alt 1 and 2.
I gotta get out here. Alt 1. I just missed it.
And now hit Alt 4. You could go backwards with Alt 2.
Alt 2 does it? Okay. But then
goes
Alt...
in one direction, Alt 2 goes in the other direction.
Okay, and then I hit Alt 4.
Yep.
Then I throttle up.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you don't like this flight height because you think there may be mountains or towers or something, you can hit Alt spacebar to change the altitude. That ascent that it sets right there is that value you put in there. So it's your current ground level plus 1,000 because you left it at 1,000.
okay.
And now it's going to take you to that marketplace. One nice thing it does now with this version, you should really only do it if you're going to a marketplace or a waypoint that's more than probably 0.6 SU, about 120,000 kilometers. You can set your initial altitude before you throttle up, raise it into space, like at 12,000, 13,000 kilometers, or wherever you know above atmosphere to be, and then it will take you up orbit and bring you back down.
Oh, okay.
So that you don't burn atmo fuel the entire
Yeah, I could see that. So basically, it'd take you.
faster too.
Yeah, it would take you into space, and then it would increase your speed. So if it's all the way on the other side of the planet, that could actually help out considerably. Okay.
Yeah, it does orbit hops now. That's something we added today.
So now this is you guys. You literally released this today.
Well, the new features that you saw in that change log.
Okay. Okay.
And let's say you change your mind and want to go home now. Hit Alt-4 to stop your autopilot.
Okay.
And now you can hit Alt-6 to maintain your height if you want.
Okay.
Either one. Use Alt-1 or 2 to change your interplanetary helper to Symeon home, and then Alt-4 to go back.
Again, I am not touching anything except Alt-4 to get us back home. It's doing it all on its own.
And we do find that with ships with lesser brakes, or not the ability to brake really fast, that flying lower gets you closer to the waypoint, it seems. But then you've got the risk of mountains and towers and everything else.
Well, here on Symeon, that's not an issue, but on Alioth, that is an issue big time.
Is Alioth and Sanctuary.
Yeah.
And I think it had your altitude right for 11%. I think it was just your ship was unable to pitch down quick enough once it was approaching that 11%.
I see. Okay.
In fact, have you ever gone over your inertia matrix?
I don't think so.
Inertia matrix 101 when you land, if you want.
We can do that if you have the time.
Yeah, I got a few more minutes.
Okay. Is there anybody who has some questions that would like to ask a couple of questions?
Other people had questions. What were your questions? Now that we've done a lot more stuff.
Centaurus, you have any questions that you would like to ask? Diesel Dog, you have any questions that you would like to ask?
He's muted now, so he must be doing something.
Okay. I really appreciate you taking the time to...
No, I go around to various DU streamers every now and then and do this.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, all of the code is open source. So on that GitHub page, you can actually go and look at the source code for all this. Now, if you try to look at the config file, it's so big now that we have to minimize it, which makes it unreadable. But the source file is there.
Looks like it's going to be pretty daggone close.
Maybe a little off again.
Yeah, a little bit off, but hey, like I said, I will live with that.
And like I said, with better ships, not saying your ship's bad, but with ships with more power or more braking power, it's dead on.
Okay. Now, when they update some of the braking systems or what?
We're dreading that day.
You are dreading that day?
Yeah. We used to try to do a coast landing. The problem with coast landing is you can't see mountains, trees, buildings. So, you know, we went with brake landing and just said, always put on more. There's always room for more large brakes.
Mm. But when they do change the braking aspect of it, there could be an issue with how this operates.
And so it's always a matter of, you know, anytime there's a big patch, fly at your own risk for a couple of days.
Right, yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah, you're within 20 meters.
Yeah.
Because you're facing the way that you were before. The other thing you can do right now is you can hit G.
Okay. Oh, it lets me. So then and then release the brake and then move forward.
Release the brake and just tilt down a little bit. You don't even have to use the engines. Your hovers will make you move forward if you tilt down. And then just hit G again to land.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of people don't realize that if you tilt with hovers, they make you fly. Because that's how the hover vehicles work. So hop out of your ship.
Okay.
We'll go over Inertia Matrix real quick. And then look at your ship and hit B.
B, okay.
Go into build mode. And then up there on the top, the little plane with a circle underneath it in the middle.
Let's see, I gotta hit the tab, little plane with a circle in the middle. This one?
Yep.
Okay.
No. The circle underneath it, I mean.
Oh, the circle underneath it. So this one.
Yeah. And then Inertia Matrix. So here's Inertia Matrix 101. You always, the numbers that matter, the way to read this is XYZ across the top and XYZ down the left side and the right. It doesn't really matter. XX, YY, ZZ. So top left to bottom right are the important numbers. XX is pitch. And then YY is roll. And ZZ is yaw. So that's the amount of force it's going to apply when you pitch, roll, or yaw. The thing to note about the other numbers, anything not on that diagonal are side effects. So let's say that you're going to pitch, which is XX, right?
Okay.
If you look down the sides or down the bottom, you'll see that you're going to, when you pitch, you're going to have 2.2 kilograms per meter squared of force trying to make you roll, and 2.1 kilograms trying to make you yaw. So getting those numbers as close to zero as possible is what's important. The thing that you note here is those are a little high, but at least they're similar, so you're going to have the same amount of pitch and yaw. I mean, the same amount of roll and yaw when you pitch. And you can see this. If you just take off with G and then just pitch down, you'll notice that your plane also rolls and yaws.
Right, okay.
And then, so the middle one is roll.
This one, right? This one?
Nope, the 26,342.
Okay, that is your roll.
That's your roll. So whenever you roll, you're going to pitch 2.2, and you're going to yaw 6.4 kf force.
Okay.
So that's kind of a bigger number. So that's why whenever you roll this ship, it starts yawing. And it's going to clockwise, our positive numbers are counterclockwise. So when you roll this ship, it's going to try to yaw counterclockwise. So it's going to, you know, towards zero if you're greater than zero on the compass.
Okay.
And then ZZ is the same thing. If you notice your ZZ 37,247,
okay,
you're going to roll and you're going to pitch.
So this is going to be the roll, correct?
26,342 is the roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean when you're yawing?
Yes, when I'm yawing, this is my roll.
37,247. you're going to get 6,400 of roll and 2,100 of pitch. Just go up and try it. Sit in the seat and then hit G to take off, and you'll be at 50 meters, and then just hit A to yaw and watch what happens with your roll and your pitch. Go ahead and go external view. It's easier to see. And now just hit A.
Hit A?
Yep, to yaw.
Okay.
So you're yawing now. And see how your pitch has started to go down some and you're rolling?
Yeah.
Now you've got auto roll on. So the HUD right now is bringing you back to 0 on your roll.
Okay. Oh, I see what's... Okay, I see what you're... All right.
So right now it's trying to keep you level flight. But that's what happens when you do those. Those are the forces that apply.
I see. Okay.
Diesel, do you have questions? We were finishing up explaining the inertia matrix.
No, you're good, bud. I got it. Everything works there.
All right. So anyway, oh yeah, let's get you a remote real quick. Does nobody have a remote here or in your storage or anything? They're super easy to make.
No, I don't.
I don't think that I do. Let me check here real quick. I may
A lot
have...
of people have a remote on their surfboards or their compacted ships. If you don't have a compacted ship, you 100% want one. That's what I use to fly whenever I crash.
They got pocket rockets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Pocket rockets generally have remotes on them.
I don't think the one I do has. I got a relay.
I don't have a pocket. I don't have a remote on Dank's ship. It didn't come with one.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I wish you had a remote so we could show you the arrows real quick. But anyway, if you slap a remote on that ship and then put the HUD on the remote, just like you put it on the chair, and then activate the remote, hold down shift, there's a damaged arrows button.
Okay.
And big white flashing arrows appear over whatever is damaged or disabled.
Man, I'm telling you what, that
There's a damage report script out that's even better, but it uses a screen.
Really?
And is kind of very intensive, but it's super nice. That's the one I use now.
Okay, so just a couple of questions here. All right, so when I'm trying to save the location and I'm in the ship, I want to make sure that I understand this correctly.
Sure.
So when I want to save the locations, I hit the Shift Alt. Is that right?
Well, you have to hit Alt to make it in the right mode. Right now, you're in camera mode.
Okay.
So if you hit Alt, you'll see the black dot up here.
Okay, so there's a black dot, and then you hit Shift.
Then you hit Shift, that brings up the buttons.
Okay. And then you go to...
so right now, you would update position because you have Symeon home selected. So if you wanted to update Symeon home to this exact spot, like you're 35 meters away from where you saved it the first time.
Correct.
So if you hit update position, it would make it this exact spot.
Okay, so all you have to do is just release Shift, and that will do it. Okay, so now it's updated it. All right. So let's say let's say I want to create a new one.
Then you hold Shift, and it should say save position up top.
I see. Okay.
And the other way you can do it is with that add location feature. If you have the book or the coordinates in the : pause format.
Okay. Okay.
So somebody can send you that in chat. You can highlight it, hit Control C to copy it, come in, do the add location, space name, space, Control V, and paste it, and you'll be good.
Okay. Now, a quick question is, for all the key commands and everything like that, I can get that on the GitHub place where you had it, correct? Let's see.
It's probably still on your page with your Edge, and it's also in your Discord.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
So click on click on the D orbital HUD in the upper left, because right now what you're looking at is the change log.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, right where it says DU orbital HUD. Yep.
Okay.
Click that, scroll down, and there's the README file. It's a little out of date in some areas, but good enough to read.
Okay. And this will go through all of the commands that it's going to take in order to run this, correct?
Yep. Things we didn't go over like glide reentry, parachute reentry.
Okay. Man, this is incredible. Thank you so much for walking us through this. I really do appreciate it a lot.
I still hate you. Now all of a sudden I can't look around. Game's locked up. If I can fly, I can move. I can't look while I'm on my ship, no matter what view I've got with it now, on what setting. It did this when I came into the market. Now I can't get it to stop doing that. And it's automatically, somehow, magically, managed to put itself into Windows mode without my actual resetting of it. So I'll try to fix it. Hope every log out, log back in will not crash my ship.
Yeah, you've already crashed once today.
No, I didn't crash. I thumped the pavement a little bit.
Senataries, do you have any questions that you have?
I did have one question, but I don't know if he'd be the one to. No, it's not really about the script.
My stuff, I have to. Basically, I'm going to have to get with probably El Diablo and then get with Dank to reset the script, and then I'm going to have to change it to mouse, do that shift, was it shift H or something?
Go back to the game so we can show him real quick how you can change it.
Okay. All right, so Stuart.
Sit in your seat, or you're in your seat.
Yep, I'm in.
Shift and look in the lower left. This is the other way you can set your control mode. See toggle control scheme right there?
Yep.
If mouse over it and let go.
Okay.
And now hold shift. So now your current control scheme is mouse. Mouse over it and let go, and it'll be virtual joystick.
Interesting.
That's one way you can change your control scheme without having to muck with the settings if you want.
Okay. Now it looks like
you want to be sure to change back to keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So I just keep doing that until there. I'm in the keyboard. Okay. So now we do have a question in our chat. It says, "What do you link the remote to?"
Just to the HUD. It automatically links to the other things it needs to. One nice thing about the remote too is if you have a small ship with good hover engines on it or V boosters, it has a follow mode, so you can walk around and your ship will follow you. It's like it's stalking you.
So now, okay, so the remote, the remote is okay. So we'll link the remote to the data core. Is that correct? For the damage. Are you there?
Well, I can't exit the game. No. Fucking Christ. What's the hell with this? That's why I started
Archego, are you still there?
He might have crashed. I just got done crashing.
Yeah, I think somebody crashed.
Oh, I crashed too. The whole game just shut down by itself. Now, basically, everything he's showing you on that is what I was trying to tell you was kind of cool when I first started getting it, but no one liked the idea of it. course, I didn't have the in-depth detail on it, but
There we go.
There we are. Did you drop again? Or are you still here?
I'm here.
Okay. So, as far as the damage, and you use your remote control, being that we didn't have one here, what do you link the remote control to show that?
Just slap the remote down, install the HUD on it, just like you installed the HUD on this chair.
Okay.
You know, right-click Advanced, run Auto Conf, and then run the 5.42 Auto Conf that's already in your folder. You don't have to do anything with it. If you link the data bank to the remote first, they'll share the data bank, so you get all the values that you already have. And then you just hold down Shift, and there's a button that says something like engage repair arrows or something like that.
Okay.
Now ours is very rudimentary. The damage report script you can get, there's a damage report script out there that if you install it, it has a arrows HUD, and also it shows you visually on a screen a whole bunch of damage report info and other things.
Wow. So,
but the remote's really nice for, like you said, finding that one module that you have no clue where the hell it is.
yeah, I mean, especially on this ship, like if I get out here, I'll show you here. Like for example, the game had a glitch, and I had to remove all my voxels, and I could not get, because the game supposedly rounds the voxels up to the nearest number or something like that is what he was telling me. We didn't have enough material to put the ship all the way back together because it lost part of our
You know that if you don't do anything else, you can remove voxels and then hit backspace and put them back.
Yes, and that's what I did. However, I don't know if it was because the game was in the middle of crashing or what took place, but when I hit the backspace, basically everything froze.
You may have
And
done too many at once.
what was that?
You may have done too many at once.
Maybe. I don't know exactly.
Oh, here's another frame rate thing. Hit escape and go to settings. I don't know if you guys know this or not. And click on graphics. Yeah, you've got it on custom already. You already know this. The voxel rendering,
Yeah.
the number of threads. I've got a i9 10870, and if I let it do full threads, if I leave it in auto or put it on 10 threads, I get 30 frames per second less than if I drop it down to 2 threads.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's using a 3080 graphics card too.
You have a 3080?
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it in a pre-built from Newegg, because Newegg's internal company is really nice. Their internal desktop builder. I think I paid. It's an i9. Let's see. 32 gig of RAM. Where's my thing?
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, it's an i9 10850 with 32 gig of RAM and a 3080 graphics card.
Wow.
And I paid maybe $4.99 more than if I had built it myself. But you couldn't get MSI Agent or tough 3080 graphics cards if you tried, and that's what it came with.
Yeah, I can't get any. I've looked and looked and looked and looked and looked for some new graphics card, and I've been biting at the bit for the new 3080s or the 3070s, even the 3060s. I don't care.
That's what I do, though. I mean, I get a new PC about every 4 to 5 years, and I save up between those, and I'll get whatever is about second best at that time.
all right, guys, I think I'm off. This game is acting up like it normally does, so I'm going to go find something else to do.
Clear your cache.
It's not even that. It's literally, the game is not recognizing my mouse movements. It recognizes the wheel, button clicks, anything outside of a ship. But as soon as I'm inside my ship, I cannot move around, and it's locked, like hard locked.
Yeah, all right.
I've already done a restart on the game. It's not.
But anyway, yeah, get that remote and stick it on your ship. Attach your data bank to it. Run the auto comp, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that is. I'm definitely going to get a remote, and I'm going to try it out. And definitely, I can't thank you enough. This is very unexpected. I'm a new streamer. I don't stream that much. Well, I stream quite a bit, but I'm not a known person. I mean,
Like I pop into streams every now and then and offer help.
I do appreciate the help too, bud. So we
Not
put
a
the
problem.
getting everything set up on here.
You guys have a good night.
all right. Thank you. Thanks again. I appreciate it.